Hey everyone, Pastor Doug here. If I could add a little bit to this past Sunday's message from Isaiah 6, a message I've been hanging on to for a while, a message that has been personally driving me ever since New Year's Day 2024. I think I would add a little more about the three levels of scripture interaction that I mentioned at the end. I did work it in there at the end a little bit, but I was watching the clock. I knew I didn't have that much time to discuss it fully. So I would go back and add a little more to that. Here's what I think I said in the sermon, and if I was acting properly, what I should have said. I should have said there are at least three levels in which we interact with this scripture. The first is the informational or the historical, and you can just summarize this as what it says. So you have a passage of the Bible. It does contain facts. It does contain information. Jesus went to Jerusalem. That is just a fact. So you can look at that first level and say, here is the fact. You might call this the scholarly level. I mean, this is what a scholar is trying to do. A scholar is trying to determine what is the author trying to communicate to us? What information does this verse, this passage, this chapter have for us? And that's what they try to record and pass on to other people. So that is the first level. It is inescapable. It's not like that level can be removed. That level has to be there. We have to know the information. We have to know the knowledge. We have to know what the scripture says. But that second level, I would call this the moral level. And this is what does it mean is how I would summarize that. And this is kind of the preacher level. So the scholar just wants to understand what it says. The preacher wants to understand what it means and then share that to the people. Now, the people have picked up this second level fairly easily. We all kind of understand, okay, the 10 commandments in Exodus 20 say don't steal, don't commit adultery, don't murder. Even though Moses was saying that to the Israelites thousands of years ago, we understand that still applies today. And so we take those moral lessons. Do not lie, do not steal, do not take the Lord's name in vain, all this stuff. And we say, yeah, we ought to obey that as well. So that's why I'm calling that the moral level. We seem to be fairly good at moving from the information to this, I guess we would call it application, and saying, yep, there's a moral quality here that we must follow. We don't want to lie, we don't want to steal, we don't want to murder, we don't want to commit adultery, the same as those people were told not to do. So there's the scholarly level, there's the preacherly level, there's the informational or historical level, there's the moral level. What does it mean, or what does it say is the first level, what does it mean? There's this third level though, that and I want to call this one the devotional level or the personal level. And I was going to say, I didn't really discover this until my time in California, where I noticed that there were other pastors saying, God is saying this to me. I hear God saying this. And I was like, how are you capable of doing that? Because I don't seem to be there. And they showed me, and what they showed me was that the Bible has, by God's design, by God's intent, this other third level where it's not just, hey, here's what it says, not just, hey, here's what it means, but here's what it says and means to me today in the situation that I am in today. And I will give you an example of this. One of the first times that I experienced this, and this was, maybe 10 years ago now, I don't know how far ago it was, but I woke up that morning, it could have been a Saturday. I remember I was walking the trail later and I checked Bible Gateway verse of the day. I've been doing that for a long, long time. One of the first things I do in the morning, what's the verse of the day? Does the Lord have something for me? Again, that third level, personal. Does he have something for me personally today in that verse of the day? And it was one of the Proverbs, I can't remember which one exactly. I'm thinking chapter 15 maybe, but I'm not sure. But it said, he who digs a pit falls into the hole that he has made. Now, on the information level, what it's saying is, hey, if you dig a pit, you're going to fall into it. It's pretty easy to get that informational level there. What does it say? Moral, you shouldn't be digging pits. Okay, yeah, I can see pretty easy to get that moral level there too. Personally though, I didn't catch it for a while. I went out, I think it was a Saturday, and I went at least walking on the trail, if not running. Personally, I was having problems with another pastor. He just didn't like me. He let it be known that he didn't like me. And Me being me, I was thinking about dirty little ways that I could, get back at him, dig at him, jab at him. And as I was walking the trail, I was thinking these, and all of a sudden I realized, hey, you're doing exactly what the proverb was talking about. You're thinking of digging a pit for this guy. And I believe that God is telling you this morning via this scripture, as you move through the informational level, to the moral level, now to the personal level, God is telling me personally, don't dig a hole for that guy the way you're thinking of doing. It's a deeper level. It's a sharper level. When Hebrews says it divides the spirit and soul, the joints and the marrow, that's what we're talking about right there. The word coming in and saying, not only is this what I'm saying, not only is this what it means in general for moral living, this is what it means to you personally today. I think there was a message like that in Isaiah 6. I got it on that New Year's Day 2 years ago, and it's been driving me ever since. I believe there are personal levels, personal meanings like that for all of us in all the scriptures if we will allow ourselves to see them. So that's what I would have added if I had a couple of more minutes. That's what I'd like to add now. Don't just stay on the informational level. Don't just stay on the moral level. Ask God, what's the personal level here? What are you saying to me today in my situation? God bless us all.